Hi, my name is Deanna Southard and I am going to be presenting. I'm a distance student, so I am making a screen capture and I will be doing my best to present this way. I'm presenting on our homework 6, our Android and iOS, where we had to create a program in 3D. I happen to make mine in Android because I have an Android phone, and I made an app that would display several cubes rotating around, and that implemented per fragment lighting. So I think I'm going to demo the program on my phone and then show you what the code looks like. Okay, so this is my Android app. I'll open it up, and it's based on a Learn OpenGL ES.com lesson. Here are the 5 cubes, and you can see the little point light that's rotating around the cubes. I implemented touch events sensory. So if I touch the screen, all of the cubes will start to rotate. And I can go back and forth and up and down. I haven't gotten it to where I can just rotate all of them in a single axis. But I like how this is. And it also, if I turn my phone sideways, it'll respond as well. So going back here, yep. It's just a simple lights and rotation. Okay, so I did all of my coding in Android Studio, and I have 3 Java classes, and I did everything in Java because that was the easiest way to do it. And so I had to create my own GL surface view wrapper because I wanted to have some touch events so that, as you saw, I could rotate the cubes based on my touch input. So my main activity initializes this surface view, and then I set my content view to the surface view, and so that opens up. And the only other things are on resume and on pause in case the phone pauses that app, and it just resumes the surface view. And so here in the surface view, I've created my own renderer, which I'll look at in a second. And then I had to extend the GL surface view class to take care of the touch factor. So this touch factor will input details from the touch screen, and then once the touch position has changed, it'll re-render the screen. So I make sure that I take in any touch positions and track them, and if they're then I use my renderer to change the angle. I have another variable called angle, and when this tracks some touch event, then it'll set that angle in the renderer. So my render is another class that I extended, and I call it homework 6 renderer, and that extends the GL surface, implements the GL surface renderer. And I got a lot of my example from OpenGL, Learn OpenGLES. And if you go to the website, anybody who's trying to do this programming on Android, they have really good lessons. I started off going through the first 3 lessons because I haven't done any sort of Android programming really, and this was really helpful to see about what to do. So I took a lot of mine from lesson 3, which really just built on lesson 2. So lesson 2 is really what I looked at, and it helped me to build the cubes and to understand what was going on, and their code is really detailed, so it'll explain exactly what they're doing with all their matrix math. So I basically used their matrix maths to load up these cubes. I did have some of my shaders here. So the per pixel shader is similar. It's what we've done in previous classes and previous examples for the vertex and the fragment shaders. And with Android, you didn't have to have a separate file for your shaders. You only had to have, you had to write it down as a string. So it was in this format. It's the easiest format. It looks like what our .vert and .frag files have been so far. So I have shaders for lighting up all the different cubes, and it's as we did in previous classes. And then I also had a shader program for the light point, just to have that point, small points rotating about the center cube. There isn't too much more that I can talk about. My code is all up on my GitHub account for anybody who wants to look into it. I ran it on Ubuntu using Android Studio. So if you download and open up Android Studio, you can import this program really quickly. And it took me a long time because, like I said, I've never done any graphics or real programming on the Android Studio using OpenGL, so that's where most of my time was just going through these lessons and trying to get a better idea of how to use how OpenGLES worked. I wish that I could answer questions at this point, but being a distance student, if you have any questions, feel free to post them up on the forum, and I will get to them. I'll try to post whatever I've learned doing this Android project. Thank you very much.